stepped forward to wrap her arms around him, and Sarah felt as if she had suddenly disappeared into the room's white walls. "It's so good to see you. I can't believe you're really here," she said into his ear. Sarah had never met Celia, the woman married to Jack's cousin Dean. In fact, the last time Jack had gone home to Pennygate was for Dean and Celia's wedding. Sarah had stayed behind with the twins, who were under a year old at the time. It was a quick trip, just 2 nights and 3 days.
3 days in Pennygate is more than enough,
Jack had said. But looking back, Sarah wondered if Jack was relieved that she opted to stay behind. Sarah had looked forward to finally meeting Celia in person. They had talked briefly on the phone several times over the years, exchanged Christmas cards. But now she couldn't help but feel intimidated by the woman. Jack pulled away from their embrace and took a step backward, holding Celia by the forearms to get a better look.
"Of course I came."
For the first time, Celia seemed to notice Sarah. "Sarah?" she asked, and Jack nodded in affirmation. "It's so wonderful to finally meet you in person," Celia said, drawing her into a tight hug that felt a little too familiar. "All the nice things Jack has said about you, I feel like I've known you forever." Celia looked around the room. "Where are the girls? Did you bring them?" No, Sarah said. "They couldn't make it." She was about to explain how the girls were tied up with school when Jack's cousin Dean appeared in the doorway and diverted her attention. He was a tall, broad man who wore the weathered look of a tired farmer and a son worn down with worry. He didn't look like the same recklessly handsome man she had last seen 20 years ago, when he was the best man at their wedding. He had gained well over 50 pounds, and his thick, dark hair had disappeared. His face was scoured and lined by hours spent out in the fields beneath the blazing Iowa sun.
"Jack,"
Dean said, and the 2 men embraced with heavy claps on the back.
"Thanks for coming."
Dean pulled away and swiped at his eyes with the back of one large hand.
"I know it means a lot to Mom that you're here. She thinks the world of you."
"I'm so sorry about Julia," Sarah said, and reached out her arms as he pulled her into a hug. "What are the doctors saying?" Dean shoved his hands into his pockets.
"She has a fractured skull and broken bones. Almost too many to count. But she's a strong old bird." "What happened?"
Jack asked, looking down at his aunt. Sarah knew that he was thinking the same thing she was. It was a miracle this elderly wisp of a woman was still alive.
"All we know is that she fell down the stairs sometime early yesterday evening. Amy was the one who found her and called 911.
"How's your dad doing?" Sarah asked. "I bet he's just sick about it."
"He's doing okay. I don't think he can believe this is happening. He's down in the cafeteria with Amy, getting something to eat." "I've been trying to get a hold of Amy for weeks," Jack said, "but she never answers her phone."
Dean hesitated before speaking.
"That was something I was hoping to talk to you about."
"Why don't we take a walk and get some air?" Celia said to Sarah, but Jack shook his head.
"I don't mind if Sarah stays if you don't," Jack said. "Is something wrong?" "It's about Amy," Dean explained. "Let's go outside."
They moved into the hallway, and Jack looked expectantly at his cousin.
"Is Amy okay? Did something happen?"
"We're worried about her," Celia said uncomfortably.
"I hate to spring this on you," Dean said, scratching the back of his neck, "and I know this is the last thing you need to hear right now, but Amy's been having a hard time lately." "Of course she's having a hard time," Jack said with confusion. "Julia's like a mother to her." "It's more than that," Dean said. "She was acting strange before the fall, too." "Has she been drinking again?" Jack asked. Sarah thought of Jack's dad and his drinking. Alcoholism ran in families, but Jack drank only socially, never allowing it to impair his thinking. "I think so. Maybe pain pills, too. She lost her job at the motel a few weeks ago." "She's worked there for over 2 years. Do you know what happened?" "She was showing up late."